crazy. Ooh, I'm loving this.
Hi sweeties, I hope you guys are having a sweet day. I have something exciting for you today. Today we are going to review the James Charles X Morphe palette. Yes, I absolutely love this palette. I use it every day. What I mean every day is when it's the only palette I use to create my looks because it's one of the only palettes I have. Yeah, I do have an Urban Decay palette, but personally, the James Charles palette is one of my favorites, and today I'm going to be doing a review. Of course, this will not be a first impressions because I have used this palette before, but I do have some pros, and of course, there are some cons with this palette, and let's dive into this. First impressions on the palette. Let's just talk about the packaging it comes in, which is absolutely stunning. It comes in a, here, let me scoot over so you guys can see. It comes in like a matte glossy black, which I absolutely love. It feels nice on the hands. It does not irritate my hands. It feels really comfortable. And of course it has Morphe X James Charles in his writing, which I absolutely love. I love his writing. His writing's really pretty. I absolutely love it. And it's matte black all around. I believe it's a very, how would I describe, modern palette. It's a very basic but yet beautiful palette. And of course mine is not the cleanest because I've had this for a little bit, so of course it's dirty. The color story, I don't know where to start. It's amazing. It's got everything you could ever want. It has the crazy colors, the neutrals, the basics. One of my favorites is, of course, Social Blade. I love Hello, which I believe is this, and Skip is like a hot fiery pink. I absolutely love those shades a lot. I do use shade Hello a lot, which is this like kind of a glittery baby blue. I use it a lot, and when I mean a lot, I mean I get scared to a point where I'm gonna start seeing the pan and I'd be like, oh no, I'm gonna have to buy a new palette. And that's how scary I get. I'm like, woo! But I absolutely love the story because it has anything you could ever want. And I believe this is a very good palette for you, especially if you're very starting like me. Because it has the crazy colors, it has the neutrals, has everything you could ever want in a palette, in which I believe James Charles did beautifully. James Charles, he put time into this palette, and I can see why, because it is the most like thought out palette I've ever seen, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The story is beautiful. It has every shade you could ever want. Now, this is a personal preference, but I wish there was a glittery pink in this palette, but that's just a personal preference. It's nothing that's like bad about the palette. It's just I would rather have a glittery pink. I feel like it would like set everything down with the palette, wouldn't make it final, but it doesn't. Okay, let's move on.
Now, it's swatch time.
Now first, I'm gonna swatch into Social Blade, which is like a green, like it's like a lime green. I'm just gonna rub my finger into it. And guys, I've never done a swatch before, so please don't like judge me or anything here. This is absolutely one of my most favorite shades because like you can see, it's a very nice green. It's beautiful. I would have preferred it to be a brighter green, but honestly, it's a perfect green. Now let's dip into my most favorite shade in this palette, which is shade Skip, which is a hot pink. Let me show you guys.
Ooh, let me dive into that one more time. You guys see that? That's absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if you guys
can see it in real life, but like in the video camera, but like in real life it is very neon, and I absolutely love it. Like absolutely, like it goes in, like the pink goes in with my lip. I absolutely love it. Now let's talk about one of my least favorite shades in this palette, which is shade Pinkity Drinkity, which I would describe as almost like a baby sky pink. Here, let me dip my pinky into that. Here, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna swatch on my arm. See, it just doesn't really come off. I think it might be due to my skin being kind of tan, so it might not come off. I don't know how it would come off here. I don't know how it would come off on someone else's skin tone, but let me show you guys again on my arm. It just doesn't really show a lot, in which I'm not a really big fan of this shade. It's my least favorite shade out of the palette, which really sucks because I really do like the shade, how it looks, but it just doesn't go good. I do use it as a base shade because it's not an opaque shade, so you can't really see it that much, but it is a good like transition or base shade. Now, let's talk about the reds. The reds are very staining. Here, let me show you. I'm gonna dip into You're Kidding. But one thing I love about the reds is that it is opaque. Let me show you.
Ooh, that's one swipe. One swipe. You guys see that? It is absolutely amazing. It's pigmented. I absolutely love it.
But, okay, let's talk about one of my least favorite things about the James Charles palette, which is a con, is that the red shades have a huge amount of fallout, which really sucks because it is a really good shade. I do refrain from using You're Kidding a lot, which really sucks because I absolutely love the red shade, but it does create a lot of fallout and it does ruin my look. And I mean, like, I know, and it also stains the eyes, which is nothing against him. I know it's a vegan formula. I know it's supposed to stain the eyes. It's red. It's very common sense to stain the eyes. So if you guys are like playing around with James Charles palette and you get a red and you put it on, you're like, it stains. Well, it's common sense, guys. Also, the shade Skip, which is the neon pink, it also stains too. Common sense again. Next, let's go into the shade Spooky. Spooky is a matte black, and let me guys show you. This is one of the blackest blacks I have ever seen. Like, you just see that on the finger. It's beautiful. And let me show you guys. Ooh, look at that here. Let me dip into that one more time because I did go on a crevice spot where there was a lot of crevices on my wrist. So let me swipe that again. Look at that, guys. That is an absolutely gorgeous black. I absolutely love it. I love the black so much to a point where you can use it as a lipstick, which I'm not sure it's safe to put it on your lips, but I put it on my lips and it looks awesome. Like, as a lip, like, it just looks like a very matte black. It's amazing. Absolutely love the shade Spooky. It does not have a lot of fallout, which I'm super happy about, and which is very awesome because I do use this shade a lot. Yes, I'm into colors, but I do like playing around with black a little bit because it is a very, like, nice pace of change. Next, I want to talk about the shade Ring Light. Ring Light is an absolutely gorgeous, how do I call it, champagne, glittery. It's almost like a champagne. Here, I'm gonna swatch it on my hand because I'm running out of room on my wrist. Ooh, you guys see that? So what I would advise you guys to do with Ring Light is use it as a highlight. It's a beautiful highlight. My friend Tatum taught me how to use this as a highlight because I never touched the shade because, like I said in a past video, I'm not a big nudes person. I don't really care much for nude shades. So this one never really talked to me, but she showed me that you can use this as a highlight, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I like putting it on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on my nose, right here, and a little bit up under the eyebrows. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you guys again. Oof. Like, again, it's a champagne, so it's absolutely gorgeous. I would have to, actually, for me being like a nudie person, for not being a nudie person, I absolutely have to say this is one of my other favorite shades because I just like how that shines. Now, let's talk about the glittery formulas. Let's talk about my two favorite glittery formulas. My first favorite is this, like, kind of like violet purple. It is Artistry. Let's swipe it. Wait, not swipe it. It is a glittery metallic formula. Here, let me show you guys. Ooh, that's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love how that looks. I would describe it as like a violet purple with blue reflex in it. Guys see that? Okay, now we're gonna dip into my other favorite, and it is shade Hello. This is the shade I told you guys about that I'm scared of using because I don't want to run out of it. You guys see that? That's more how it is. It is, I would describe it as just a pure, shiny, like, sky blue. It's awesome. I absolutely love it.
Ooh, my hands are dirty.
Let's talk about the color story again. So, like I said, I know I'm a person that speaks just to this bottom row. I absolutely love this bottom row. I'm not a big fan of the top row. The only shades I like from this is 518, which is like an which is an orange. That's how I can describe it, an orange. But I would describe this palette, I would say that this palette is amazing for any, I would advise everyone to get this palette because it is absolutely amazing. Like, I love how he used the most, like, commonly used shades in the center row, which are bigger pans, which I believe is a very smart move. And the least favorites, which are my favorites, but on the bottom. And I like how he separated kind of the nudes and the fire reds and everything to the crazy colors that let you create whatever you want. Now, let's create a look with this palette. So, let's hear. I already have an idea what I want to create because I do have the blue lipstick. So what I want to do is I want to take the shade Skip, which is the hot fiery pink. And I want to go on the other eye and fling it just on the outside, under the eye here.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and next, let's fling it out. Oh no, guys, I just drew on my face. My fault. Let's go right here. What I'm gonna do is make it fat on the outer ends, and just go on the outer ends. Just go on the under eye. I just stabbed myself. Oh no. And then what you're gonna do is, as you're going farther out, is I'm gonna start like, you start on the flat end, and you're slowly gonna change to the sharper end, so you have like a skinnier fling to it. Oh no, I ruined this. Here, I think I might be able to fix this look still. Dun, 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 dun. Here, I'm gonna dip back into shape. Oh my. Dip back into shape skip, and I'm just gonna, I should have done that. Well, you learn. You know what? I think I could do something with this. Here, I'm just gonna build it up on both sides. I'm just gonna build the pink up. Fatter. You know what? I was originally wanting to go with like a more of a like a skinnier like under eye, but honestly, I'm not hating it, so I think I'm gonna keep it, and we're gonna do something with it.
Another thing I would say about this palette is that it's very blendable, as you of course see. I'm not blending in this one, but I would say that it's very blendable. The colors blend very nicely, especially the colors that are not supposed to blend into each other. If you just pack them in nicely, they blend beautifully. Like for example, if you look at my last post on Instagram, I used the shade 518 and let me think, Hello, and I packed them on, and I did like a little like kind of like smoky eye with them, and I blended them in, and like, which 518 is a hot orange and Hello is a sparkly blue, like I showed you earlier. So those two don't really blend in with each other, but what I did is I just kept packing them in, and they blended beautifully together, which was a huge surprise to me.
I have no clue what I want to do, guys. Like, I have no clue. Like, I want to make the under eye pop, but like, I got an amazing idea.
But I'm gonna take a ring light. I can't figure it out. That sheet's so dirty. But I'm gonna take ring light, and I'm gonna put it on top to give it like a sparkly type of look to it.
Okay, I forgot to tell you guys, I was just using the JH42 brush. I'm gonna switch back to the JH41 brush, the packer brush. I'm gonna go back to the shade ring light, and of course pack it on. Pop. I'm kind of liking what it's doing. It's, of course, it's making it pop like I want it, but it's also kind of dimming down the pink, which I'm not hating, but I wish it would have stayed a little bit brighter, but it's okay. We can work with this. Ooh, I'm getting a huge gem in the hologram vibes. Who's with me? Yes, kitty?
I like to say, guys, like, you know how I mentioned that my style is very different from other MUAs? Perfect example. I absolutely love this. It's just simple, it's nice, and, well, it's not simple. It's crazy. Look at that.
I feel like I can cut you with it. Don't look at me the wrong way. Willis.
To tell you guys, if I didn't mention it, what I just did is I took Lady Lagoon, a Fenty eyeliner, and I just went in the under eye and added this, which is like, it's a blue. It's almost exactly like this lipstick, which it blends in more with it, and I'm absolutely loving it. Something's missing about this look, which would make it final.
What do you guys think? Let's see. What do you speak to me? Where are you? I'm gonna take the JH42 brush, and I'm gonna go back in the shade Hello, and I'm just gonna put that on my, just on my eyelid. I'm loving that. Can you see me? I can see you, baby.
Okay, guys, I think I just finished the James Charles X Morphe look I just created with the James Charles X Morphe palette. Wrong side. There you go. Final thoughts on the palette. It is absolutely stunning. You can create whatever you want. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, the question is this palette yummy or nasty? And the final result is, drum rolls please. The James Charles X Morphe palette is yummy. Yes, guys, it is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Final thoughts. It's everything I could ever wish for in a palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love playing with this, you know. And I absolutely would like to say is that, you know, I did not intentionally go in with this look. I was originally going to do a sharper look. But you got to mess around with your mistakes. Of course, as a starting MUA, you make mistakes and you got to learn how to work with them. And I love how this came out, guys. I would also like to say that this look is truly, truly outrageous.
It's truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous.
So until next time, guys, stay sweet. Bye.